Good afternoon and welcome to the Harlow Lockwood Fields on the Inwood Sports Complex here in Joliet, Illinois, where the Fighting Saints of St. Francis take on the St. Xavier University Cougars in a matchup between two of the top teams in the CCAC this year. My name is Terry Bonadonna, and I'll be on the call today as the Saints try to snap out of a little bit of a funk. They dropped 2 in a row last week against Olivet Nazarene, and now they're back at it today against St. Xavier here at home for their second home doubleheader of the season. Let's take a look at the starting lineups quickly for the visitors. Lexi Lux leads things off playing second base. Batting second, Lita Robinson, the center fielder. Amanda Ruskowski is the pitcher. Hitting cleanup, first baseman Taylor Sturkowitz. Batting fifth is the shortstop Tori Kielman. Tori Williams is in right field. Annalise Scott hits seventh. She's the designated player. Brittany Schultz is behind the plate. And batting ninth, left fielder Frankie DeMack. For the Fighting Saints, it's Lindsay Andrews in the leadoff spot playing second base. Batting second, left fielder Paige Egan. Rachel Luckett hits third and plays right. The cleanup batter is first baseman Kayla Garcia. Ashley Gallison plays shortstop. Hitting sixth is the pitcher Madison Tucker. Danielle Callahan hits seventh and plays third base. The catcher is Jensen Crenshaw, and hitting ninth, center fielder Haley Length. We're ready to get going. St. Francis in white in the field. St. Xavier in red at the bat. And the first pitch of the ball game comes into Lexi Lux low for ball one. We are underway. We're at 3:01 p.m. Central Daylight Time. St. Francis comes in with a record of 15-9 overall, just 5-5 in the CCAC. Next pitch misses low, and it's 2 balls and no strikes on Lux. St. Xavier is 21-3. And they rank third in the conference with a 10-2 mark since CCAC play started in late March. 2-0 pitch. Taken for a called strike. It's 2-1. Lexi Lux is a .455 hitter this season. She's got 15 extra base hits, including 8 triples, 21 RBIs for the St. Xavier second baseman. Madison Tucker's 2-1 offering. Misses high. That's ball 3. Tucker is making her 17th start of the season. It's her 19th overall appearance. She comes in with a losing record of 2-4. She has not thrown a complete game among her 16 starts. There's a ground ball up the middle, sliding stop by the second baseman Andrews. She throws over to first in time. Good play by Andrews to retire Lux for the first out of the afternoon. And a good start for Madison Tucker as the leadoff batter is retired. 1 out in the first, and that brings up center fielder Lita Robinson. Robinson, a .362 hitter for the Cougars. That's from the right side. And she goes after strike one. Pitch was up high. She was looking to bunt it, dragged that bat along with her, and never pulled it back. Her bat was in the zone for a first pitch strike from Madison Tucker. Here's the next pitch. This one misses low. She did not offer. It's 1-1. Tucker, entering today's game, had a 3.77 earned run average in 52 innings pitched. She's allowed 35 runs, 28 of them earned on 67 hits, 33 strikeouts, 21 walks, and a 1-2 count on Robinson as she bunts it back foul, 1-2. Tucker pitches to contact, as does most of this St. Francis staff. As a team, they have just 114 strikeouts and 156 and 2/3 innings, so they keep the defenders pretty busy. So that ball is chopped backwards. Another foul ball. Still 1-2 on Robinson. Saints got off to a strong start this season. They've dropped 3 of their last 4 games in conference play. Make that 4 of their last 6 games in conference play. There's a ground ball to second base. Another chance for Andrews, who charges and throws to first in time. Back-to-back 4-3 ground outs on the scorecard to begin today's game. 2 up, 2 down against Madison Tucker. And that brings up her opposing pitcher, Amanda Ruskowski. It's a beautiful Monday afternoon here in Joliet. Second home doubleheader of the season for the Fighting Saints after they started out the home schedule a week ago today against Judson. First pitch from Tucker to Ruskowski. Taken for strike one. Amanda Ruskowski is a tough out. She's hitting a resounding .519 for the season. She's got 2 homers, 28 runs batted in. She'll need a homer to drive in a run in this at-bat with 2 outs and nobody on. She takes a ball and the count is even, 1-1. Tucker looking to give St. Francis some early momentum with a 1-2-3 first inning. But she misses low. It's 2-1. Sun is shining, temperature in the low 70s. First time all year we've hit numbers that high on the thermometer. And what a difference we've got today from last week, the first time the Saints played at home. Ground ball down the third base line. That's foul. It's 2-2. It was 30+ degrees cooler a week ago. Sun was not quite so abundant. Today is perfect for spring softball. And we've got at least 14 innings coming your way as the Saints try to snap out of their funk with a big doubleheader win. There's a high pop-up, shallow right field. Andrews backs up and makes the grab. 2 assists, 1 putout for Lindsay Andrews in a busy first inning for the right side of the infield. And it's a 1-2-3 frame for Madison Tucker. We'll head to the bottom of the first, and the Saints will come to bat when we come back. No score. In the bottom of the first inning, Andrews, Egan, and Luckett are due up for the Fighting Saints. Garcia, Gallison, Tucker, Callahan, Crenshaw, and Length bat 4 through 9. They're facing St. Xavier's Amanda Ruskowski. Starting her 7th game of the year. It's her 11th appearance out of the 25 St. Xavier games this year. She's 7-1 with a 1.63 ERA. In 47 in the third inning, she's allowed 14 runs, 11 of them earned on 44 hits. 47 strikeouts, 23 walks on the year for Ruskowski. She goes up against Lindsay Andrews to start things off, and Andrews takes the first pitch for strike 1. Very busy first inning for Lindsay Andrews as she had all 3 balls in the top of the first hit towards her. And now she gets to lead off the bottom of the inning and tries to get the Saints a strong offensive outbreak. She swings and misses. The count is 0-2. Ruskowski, a junior from New Lenox, Illinois, plays second base on some games when she does not pitch. Obviously, you heard about her credentials offensively in the top of the first inning. She misses low. Ball 1. One of 2 St. Xavier pitchers with ERAs under 2. Allison Golick is the other, and they pitch the majority of the innings for the Cougars. 1 ball, 2 strikes on Andrews. Big swing and a miss, and there's strike 3. Ruskowski starts off her game with a strikeout, 1 away in the bottom of the first inning. That brings up Paige Egan. Both of these teams can hit the ball. St. Xavier's team batting average coming into play today, 363. St. Francis's 369. So I don't care how good any pitchers are today. I expect to see a fair number of base runners as Paige Egan stands in and takes ball 1 low. And Egan usually is a base runner. Reaches base in exactly half of her plate appearances, a .500 on base percentage for the season. She's hitting .488. She looks to bunt, but pulls the bat back and takes a strike. The count is even, 1-1. Egan's got a homer, 17 RBIs on the season. In her junior year for St. Francis and enjoying far and away her best offensive season so far. She smacks it left side foul. Count is 1-2. Ruskowski will look for a quick second strikeout in a row. First 4 batters of the game have been retired. 3 by Madison Tucker, now 1 by Amanda Ruskowski. Paige Egan trying to become the game's first base runner. She rolls it back to the pitcher. Gloved on the backhand by Ruskowski, whose throw to first is a step ahead of Egan. 2 up, 2 down in the bottom of the inning. So Rachel Luckett will try to get us off the schneid. Luckett hitting .451 on the year. 2 homers, 23 RBIs. Both of these teams have 3 hitters in the regular starting lineup, and all of them playing today in both cases, hitting above .400 for the year. Luckett takes a ball high. 1-0 on Luckett in her first season playing for St. Francis. 2 outs, nobody on base. Ruskowski looking to match Madison Tucker's perfect first inning. And Luckett fouls it back out of play. The count is 1-1. In 24 games played for each team this year, their offenses have put up similar numbers. St. Francis has been a little bit more prolific. They've scored 13 more runs than St. Xavier this year. Luckett takes a ball outside. The count is 2-1. Saints averaging right around 7 runs per game. Ball upstairs, and the count is 2-2. Two balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, nobody on base. Bottom of the first inning, scoreless tie. Amanda Ruskowski fires the next one downstairs. That's ball 4. So I had to count off a little bit. It was 3-ball count on Luckett, and now that's ball 4. So she does become the game's first base runner, as she takes first. 2 outs and a runner on for Kayla Garcia. And that's the last thing that any pitcher facing St. Francis ever wants to do. Walk the batter in front of Kayla Garcia. She tends to make them pay. 279 average. She's got 7 home runs, just about half of her team's total. She takes strike 1. Garcia is the top power hitter in the history of the University of St. Francis softball. And again, she's got 7 of the team's 15 homers this year. She's only hitting .279, but leads the team in RBIs as she takes another strike. It's 0-2. 28 runs batted in, a .647 slugging percentage for the junior first baseman. Here comes the 0-2 pitch. Garcia takes the ball. It's 1-2. Luckett's at first base. She drew the 2-out walk. 24th walk issued by Ruskowski in 48 innings this year. She's ahead of Garcia, though, 1-2. Garcia grounds it to the third baseman, picked up cleanly by O'Donnell. The throw to first is in time. Garcia's retired, and so are the Saints in the first inning. No runs, no hits, no errors. 1 runner left on. We head to the second, 0-0. Middle of the order due up for St. Xavier in the second inning. And Taylor Sturkowitz takes the ball downstairs for a 1-0 count. Sturkowitz, the first baseman for the Cougars, batting for the first time today, a .397 slugger for the year. She takes a strike. I mentioned in the first inning that both of these teams have players hitting above 400, three of them. 3 players on each team hitting above 400 for the year. Sturkowitz just misses joining that club with her .397 batting average. She swings through a strike. It's 1-2. She's also got 3 homers, 19 RBIs to her credit on the season. Trying to get on base to start the second inning, but she's behind in the count. She taps it foul to the right side. Still 1-2. Sturkowitz, Kielman, and Williams due up for the Cougars against Madison Tucker, who looks sharp to begin today's game. Tucker forced soft contact from each of the first 3 hitters she faced. There's some very soft contact, but it's foul. Tapped just to the left side of home plate. Still 1-2 on Sturkowitz. Both pitchers sharp to begin today's game. We'll see if Tucker can keep it going all the way through the lineup. Sturkowitz lifts that ball into right field. Coming in and making a basket catch is Rachel Luckett. And there's out number 1 in the second inning. Luckett seemed to misread that ball a little bit off the bat. A slow break as she had to come in on it. But because she was able to slide and make the basket grab, she made up for the slow start. And there's the first out of the inning. St. Xavier's hit 4 balls to the right side. None of them have been hit hard. And they've all been outs so far. Ball 1 outside on the shortstop, Tori Kielman. Kielman, the first of back-to-back Tories sitting in the lineup for St. Xavier. She takes a ball high, and now she's ahead 2 balls and no strikes. Kielman at .309 on the year, 4 homers, 18 RBIs. And she's near the bottom in terms of offensive productivity for St. Xavier. There's a ground ball to third on 1 hop fielded by Danielle Callahan. She throws to first, and there's out number 2. So there's the first ball hit to the left side, but the same result. It also may have been the hardest hit ball of the day. And for the defense, you'd prefer them to be hit fairly hard to the left because Callahan was able to take her time throwing that ball over to first base rather than having to rush it on a softly hit ball. 5 up, 5 down against Tucker. Here's Tori Williams, left-handed hitting outfielder. Williams takes the first pitch strike from Tucker. Tori Williams is hitting .391. Looking to inch closer to 400 in this at-bat. She takes the ball upstairs, 1-1. Tori Williams has 5 triples on the season, 2 homers, 16 RBIs. St. Xavier as a team has 20 triples on the year. Ball off the inside corner. The count is 2-1. 2 outs, nobody on base. Tucker trying to make it 6 for 6 in retiring Cougars in the first couple of innings. Next pitch. Swung on, grounded towards the middle of the field, cut off by the shortstop Gallison. Near second base, she fires over to first. It's a 1-2-3 inning. Tucker forcing him to pound it into the ground in the early going, and her defense behind her backing her up very nicely. We'll head to the bottom of the second inning. No score. No score after an inning and a half here in Joliet. St. Francis will get the next crack at breaking the scoreless tie. Ashley Gallison, Madison Tucker, Danielle Callahan due up for the Fighting Saints. Gallison, the number 5 batter, gets to lead things off against Amanda Ruskowski, who's looked sharp early on. And Ruskowski blows the first one by Gallison for strike 1. Ashley Gallison in her senior season hitting .486 in 70 at-bats this year. She's got 2 homers, she's got 22 RBIs, and she's had a marvelous offensive season. She takes a ball high, 1-1. She's often also been able to shuffle seamlessly between the infield and the outfield defensively. You saw her make a nice play at shortstop to end the last inning. Gallison fouls it straight back off the screen. The count is 1-2. Gallison is reaching base at a .514 clip. She's slugging .743. Leads the team with 10 doubles and 13 extra base hits. She hits a ground ball to the left side, picked up by the third baseman O'Donnell. The throw to first is just in time. Gallison hustling down the line there, nearly beat it out. And that again is why sometimes as a defense you prefer the ball to really be hit hard. That one was not crushed by Gallison. So Nicole O'Donnell, the third baseman for St. Xavier, had to take her time to gather and throw over to first, and as a result, nearly missed out on retiring Gallison, but she got her. 4 out of 5 retired early on by Ruskowski. And here's Madison Tucker swinging through a first strike. It's been a good pitching matchup so far. Tucker against Ruskowski. As far as their battle at the plate, Tucker got Ruskowski to pop out to end the first inning, and now they face each other facing the opposite directions for the first time. 1-1 on Madison Tucker, a .349 hitter with 8 RBIs. 1 out, nobody on, the 1-1. Swung on and missed, strike 2. Ruskowski struck out Lindsay Andrews to begin her ball game today. It's her only strikeout so far, looking for number 2. The right-hander into the windup, misses up and away, and the count is 2-2. Callahan stands on deck, hoping to bat with a runner on base. Saints have had just 1 base runner so far. We've only had 1 base runner combined through nearly 2 innings of play. So that ball is hit high in the air out to left field, shallow and dropping fair just inside the line. A base hit in front of Frankie DeMack. And there's our first hit of the ball game. It belongs to the St. Francis pitcher, Madison Tucker. Again, wasn't a particularly hard hit ball, but that played into St. Francis's advantage, as DeMack got a late break and couldn't come in fast enough to make the grab. It dropped just a few feet in front of her and just a few feet inside that foul line as well. Perfectly placed pop-up from Madison Tucker as she becomes the first base runner to reach via the hit in today's game. Here's Danielle Callahan. Callahan, the number 7 hitter, fouls the first pitch back out of play for strike 1. She's hitting .280 for the year. 23 hits and 82 at bat. She's got 3 doubles, 1 home run, 6 runs batted in, and she gets to bat with a runner at first and less than 2 outs. First batter of the game who can say that. She pops this ball to the right side, foul, and just out of the reach of Sturkowitz. It goes as a strike, and it's strike 2 in this case. No balls and 2 strikes. Good effort by Sturkowitz. She tried to make the over-the-shoulder catch. Couldn't quite pull it in, just out of her reach. Would have been a heck of a grab if she had been able to pull it in. Callahan was able to knock that one just out of harm's way. And she keeps the at-bat going by taking ball 1. It's Tucker at first base with 1 out, 1-2 on Callahan. Saints looking to strike first in what is shaping up early, at least, to be a pitcher's duel. Ball low, 2-2. And again, I said it at the outset. I'll probably say it several more times before it's all over, but even if it is shaping up to be a pitcher's duel, the statistics coming into today's game suggest that it won't be. Callahan ropes it out to left field. That's a base hit. Advancing to second base is Tucker. A solid single for Callahan. 2 on, 1 out, and the batter is Jensen Crenshaw. So now the Saints are cooking, as they've got a real scoring threat going with a runner in scoring position and only 1 out in the inning. Back-to-back singles from Tucker and Callahan. Jensen Crenshaw is a .383 batter. 3 doubles, 3 triples, 10 RBIs for the Fighting Saints catcher. First toss to Crenshaw is strike 1. And again, you want to not just get on the board, but pile up those runs facing a lethal offense. St. Xavier's been quiet so far, but when you hold them down early, you've got to take advantage by scoring some runs on the other side. Saints on the season average to score just about 7 runs per game. The Cougars a little bit below that at 6.6. There's a bunt right back to the pitcher, caught by Ruskowski, who has nowhere to throw it for a double play. She'll take the out, though. As Crenshaw is retired, a pop out to the pitcher. And that brings up Haley Length, representing the last hope for the Fighting Saints in the second inning. Haley Length, a senior outfielder, bats with Tucker at second, Callahan at first, 2 down in the second inning. And she swings through the first pitch, 0-1. Length is hitting .323. She's got 20 hits this year. She's got 14 RBIs. So not a bad player to have up in this crucial spot. She whacks it into left field. That's in for a base hit. Picked up by Frankie DeMack. She gets it back to the infield quickly, and everybody advances just 60 feet. 1 base movement for Tucker and Callahan, who go to third and second respectively. A single for Haley Length, and the bases are loaded for the top of the order. Lindsay Andrews is the hitter. With 2 outs, Saints would love to have been able to send Tucker there and try to get the first run of the ball game as Andrews swings through strike 1. But the ball just got onto Max so quickly, there was really no chance to score, even going on contact. So despite 3 hits in the inning, the Saints have not yet scored. They've got a runner at every base as Andrews swings and misses. The count is 0-2. Lindsay Andrews is 0 for 1. She was Ruskowski's lone strikeout victim the first time through the order. Looking to avoid that right here. A base hit scores at least 1 run. She takes a ball high, 1-2. A walk, a hit by pitch, wild pitch or pass ball would all score the game's first run. Andrews would like to focus on scoring more than just 1 right now. She takes high. A nice job there by Brittany Schultz to pop out of her crouch and pull that ball down. That missed its spot pretty badly. Count is 2-2 on Lindsay Andrews. Tucker's at third, Callahan's at second. Haley Length is at first base. And it's 3-2 on Lindsay Andrews. Ruskowski has missed on 3 consecutive pitches. 1 more and she'll put a run in. It was 0-2. Now the payoff pitch. Ruskowski to Andrews. Missed it up high, ball 4. And St. Francis has a run on the board. Ruskowski walks 1 in following 3 consecutive hits. And now the score is 1-0. Shouldn't say 3 consecutive hits. There was a pop out thrown in there as well, but 2 singles, pop out, and then a 3rd single. And Andrews will get credit for a relatively easy RBI. Paige Egan's swings the first pitch and fouls it over the St. Xavier dugout for strike 1. Egan's the 7th batter of the inning. Big spot for her. You never want to get 3 hits in an inning and only 1 run, but you certainly never want to get 3 hits in an inning and no runs, and that nearly happened had it not been for Andrews taking that walk after falling behind 0-2. 1-1 on Egan. It's Callahan at third, Length at second, and Andrews at first. Next pitch is hit on the ground to the shortstop. The throw goes to third base from Kielman to O'Donnell, and the inning is over, 6-5 on the fielder's choice. But the Saints do get on the board, 3 hits and a walk, and we head to the 3rd inning, 1-0 in favor of the home team. Annalise Scott leads off the top of the third inning for St. Xavier, trailing St. Francis 1-0. And the first pitch to Scott misses for ball one. 6 up, 6 down so far against young Madison Tucker. She's gotten 4 ground outs and 2 pop outs. Nothing's been hit hard against her. There's a called strike. The count is even, 1-1. Saints got on the board in the bottom of the second inning with a bases loaded 2-out walk. They lead by a run. There's a tapper foul. The count is 1-2. They had 3 singles in the inning, but no runs until Lindsay Andrews, who fell behind 0-2 in the count, was able to take 4 straight balls and bring home a run. 1-2. Ground ball up the middle. Gallison to her left. Gathers it, throws to first in the dirt. Good pick by Kayla Garcia. 1 down in the third inning. Another ground out. That's 5 of the first 7 batters of the game for St. Xavier to hit the ball on the ground right at one of the St. Francis infielders. And that brings up the catcher, Brittany Schultz. Schultz is getting her first at-bat of the game. She swings and grounds it right to Gallison on the first pitch of the at-bat. She's retired, 6-3. That's 3 straight plays for Gallison. Going back to the last out of the second inning, 6-3, 6-3, 6-3. Last 3 plays on the score sheet. Here's Frankie DeMack. DeMack, the number 9 batter, takes the first pitch for ball 1. She's hitting .400 even, 3 homers, 17 RBIs. It's going to be a tough out for Madison Tucker, who misses high. The count on DeMack is 2-0. Two outs, nobody on base, and she takes ball 3. No walks yet for Madison Tucker. She's trying to keep it that way. Tucker had 20 walks in 52 innings coming in. There's a strike. It's 3-1. Well, I mentioned it when it was going on last inning, but for St. Francis, just getting that 1 run was a huge hurdle to climb over in the bottom of the second inning. It looked for a moment like despite 3 hits, they might not score at all. There's a grounder left side. Tough play for Gallison, who has to charge it, throw quickly to first base, and just in time. Garcia, I think, was pulled off the bag by the high throw, but came down back on top of it just before DeMack ran by. So another 6-3. That's 4 plays in a row made by Gallison. And we head to the bottom of the third with our score is St. Francis 1, St. Xavier nothing. Rachel Luckett leads off the bottom of the third for St. Francis. 3, 4, and 5 in the batting order. Looking to add to a 1-0 lead. Luckett takes ball 1 from Ruskowski. Amanda Ruskowski walked Rachel Luckett back in the first inning. She did, however, retire 4 of the first 5 batters overall. And then after that, St. Francis' bats came to life as Luckett hits one hard, but right on the line to the shortstop, Tori Kielman, who makes the grab for out number 1. Leadoff batter retired for the third straight inning. Here's Kayla Garcia. After 4 of the first 5 batters were retired, 4 of the next 5 batters all reached base, leading to 1 run scoring. The Saints did leave them loaded in the second inning, so they left a few more potential runs on the table as Garcia sends one high in the air out to right center field. That ball drops into the gap. Garcia around first and heading for second base. She slides in with a double. 1-out double, Kayla Garcia. That's her 5th of the season, and another runner in scoring position for the Fighting Saints. Tori Williams went after that ball a little apprehensively, it seemed, in right field for St. Xavier. It dropped between Williams and Robinson, the center fielder. Both players had a long way to go to get to the ball, but it looked like Williams had a good opportunity to get there, kind of slowed up, reached her arm out at the last instant and wasn't able to pull it in. So now a runner in scoring position for Ashley Gallison, who takes strike 1. Gallison is 0 for 1 with a ground out to third, but it's rare to retire her twice in a row. A base hit could mean another run. She hits it foul behind home plate, and the count becomes 0-2. Garcia's double was her 12th extra base knock of the year. 5 doubles to go along with 7 home runs. 2-0 misses upstairs. Excuse me, the 0-2 misses upstairs. 1 ball and 2 strikes now on Ashley Gallison. Ruskowski's next delivery is fouled back. Still 1-2. Saints, I'm sure, content with a 1-0 lead right now, considering how well Madison Tucker has pitched. She's retired the first 9 batters of the game. Gallison knocks it down the left field line. That's a fair ball, just inside the line, a base hit. Garcia tries to score, the throw to the plate. Close play, but not in time. Garcia slides in with the second run of the game as Gallison heads to second base with an RBI knock. 2-0 St. Francis. For Ashley Gallison, RBI number 23 this season. For Kayla Garcia, her 19th run scored. And the Saints continue to hit Ruskowski, who again retired 4 of the first 5 batters of the game. Has not been so sharp ever since. 6 of the last 9 batters have reached, including Gallison, who stands on second base. 1 down for Madison Tucker. Tucker had the first hit of the game for either team. A 1-out single in the second inning. She then scored the game's first run. This time she takes the ball upstairs, 1-0. I was just about to say, you know, that St. Francis was happy with their 1-0 lead, but certainly not satisfied. They're going to need to keep piling on, you would think, against a team as well stocked offensively as St. Xavier is. Tucker takes a strike. The count is 1-1. Swing and a miss. It's 1-2. Runs should be tough to come by today for the Saints, considering they're facing Amanda Ruskowski and then possibly Allison Golick, another star pitcher in game 2. Fouled away. Still 1 ball and 2 strikes. St. Xavier's bread and butter, though, is their offense. And let's face it, any team that is 21-3 through 24 games isn't going to have a whole lot of weaknesses, and St. Xavier does not. Both their offense and their pitching have been spectacular this year. Ball low, 2-2. For the Fighting Saints, the MO has been pretty clear. They need to score runs to win games. Everybody needs to score some runs. But their pitching hasn't been quite as sharp this season as it was last year. That ball lined to the left side and caught by a lunging Tori Kielman in the shortstop's position. Nice play by Kielman. 2 down. Gallison holds at second base. 2 outs in the inning. 1 run is in. And the batter is Danielle Callahan. Callahan is 1 for 1 with a second inning single. Saints had 3 hits in the second inning. They were all singles. They've got 2 hits in the third inning, and they've both been doubles. Callahan swings the first pitch, pops it up behind home plate, and out of play for strike 1. Callahan is the 5th batter to hit here in the 3rd inning. Again, 2 of them have doubled. The other 2 have lined out to short. Callahan takes a strike at the knees. And the Saints are down to their final strike of the inning. 0-2. 2-0 St. Francis leads in the bottom of the 3rd inning. Here comes the 0-2 pitch. Check swing. She went around. That's strike 3. Second strikeout of the ball game for Ruskowski. She got Andrews to lead off the 1st inning, and this is her first one since. She gets out of the 3rd, but not before a run scores on back-to-back doubles for Garcia and Gallison. We head to the 4th, 2-0 St. Francis. Two 2-0 St. Francis leads after 3 innings. Lexi Lux leads off the 4th for St. Xavier. Lux is 0 for 1 with a ground out to second base. She lines this one over the second baseman's head and out to right field. First pitch of the inning. First base runner for St. Xavier as Lexi Lux has a leadoff single. Just a little bit too tall that time for Lindsay Andrews. The first base runner of the game for the Cougars, after Madison Tucker had retired the first 9 batters in a row. 7 of those 9 had been on the ground. Only 1 of them had hit the ball to the outfield. There's a bunt foul from Robinson, strike 1. Robinson 0 for 1. She grounded out to second base in the 1st inning. Again, 7 of the first 9 batters grounded out. 1 of them popped out on the infield. Only Taylor Sturkowitz hit the ball into the outfield first time through the batting order. Ball up high, 1-1. Lux over at first base. Robinson in the batter's box. Ruskowski is on deck for St. Xavier, who trails by 2. There's a bunt, this time into fair territory. First base side, picked up by Garcia. Throw to first is late. It's an infield hit for Lyda Robinson, a bunt single. Lux advances to second base, tying run aboard with nobody out in the top of the 4th. Good-looking bunt from Lyda Robinson that time. Just rolled weakly down the first base line. Jensen Crenshaw, the catcher, was the only one who had a legitimate play on it. And her throw to first was just a hair late. So the first pitch to Amanda Ruskowski misses low for ball 1. Ruskowski, the St. Xavier pitcher, is 0 for 1 with a pop-out. She takes ball 2, and she's in the driver's seat in this at-bat. Ruskowski has struggled over the last couple of innings, pitching-wise. She's allowed 5 hits and 6 base runners over the last 2 frames, but only 2 runs. She smacks this ball into right field. That's a base hit. Lexi Lux around third base. She scores. Heading to third base is Lyda Robinson, and it's a 1-run game. They're at the corners now. Still nobody out as the first 3 batters have all reached on hits for St. Xavier. So now the Saints are in a little bit of trouble as they have carried a lead since the top of the 2nd inning. It's in danger. Taylor Sturkowitz, the batter. Sturkowitz takes a big hack at the first pitch and foul tips it for strike 1. First 9 batters were retired by Tucker. The last 3 have reached. Here's the 0-1 to Sturkowitz. Hits it on the ground to the left side, picked up by Callahan. The throw comes home. They need a tag, and they got it. No force play at home with runners at the corners, but Callahan took a risk by throwing to the plate, and Lyda Robinson was tagged out. Good tag by Jensen Crenshaw. Good quick throw by Danielle Callahan, and a huge first out of the inning. Ruskowski advances to second base. Sturkowitz is safe at first on the fielder's choice. It goes 5-2, and the Saints needed that one. 1 down. Here's Tori Kielman. First pitch in the dirt for ball 1. Tucker still a long way from being out of the woods, but that was a good start. Big first out. 1-0 on Kielman, who grounded out to third her first time up. She takes a ball here. It's 2-0. Tucker's next pitch misses outside. 3 balls and no strikes. No walks yet in today's game for Madison Tucker. This would not be an opportune time for one. It would load the bases with Tori Williams on deck. 3-0 pitch to Kielman is in there for a strike. It's 3-1. Two to 1 is our score. St. Francis has the lead, a tenuous one, with the tying run in scoring position for St. Xavier. Kielman takes a wild swing, can't connect. It's 3-2. Big couple of pitches there from Madison Tucker to load the count. And now she'll try to put number 55 away on the 3-2 offering right here. Ground ball to short. Gallison has it, shovels it over to third base and gets the lead runner. 6-5 on the fielder's choice, 2 down. A big second out recorded by Madison Tucker. She's made the big pitches she's needed to this inning after 3 consecutive singles began the frame. Ruskowski retired on that play. Taylor Sturkowitz advanced to second base. Kielman is at first, but she was ahead in the count 3-0, so to come back and get the out, a huge deal for Tucker. And now the first pitch to Tori Williams misses low for ball 1. Tori Williams is 0 for 1 with a ground out to the shortstop. Back-to-back fielders' choices have helped Tucker manage this inning. Now can she get out of it? Popped up left side, foul and out of play. 1-1. 1 run is in on the 3 hits here in the 4th inning, but for a time it looked like it could be much worse. It still looks like it could be, but the scale has shifted in St. Francis's favor. There's a ball. The count is 2-1. They were at first and third with nobody out and 1 run already across the plate. And then a big fielder's choice in which the runner at third was cut down trying to score. And another ground out. 2-1 to Williams, misses for ball 3. Annalise Scott is on deck. A walk would load the bases. A good hitter's count here on Tori Williams, 3-1. Williams swings, grounds it right back to the pitcher. Gloved on a hop by Madison Tucker. She flips it to Kayla Garcia at first and ends the inning. 3 straight hits begin the top of the 4th for St. Xavier. They turn them into only 1 run. And as we head to the bottom of the frame, our score at the halftime point, 2-1 St. Francis. Bottom of the 4th inning. St. Francis's lead, which peaked at 2, is down to 1. They look to score for the 3rd consecutive inning. Crenshaw, Length, and Andrews due up. The 8, 9, and 1 batters against Amanda Ruskowski. Ruskowski's had an up and down day so far. She struck out Callahan with a runner at second base to end the 3rd inning. And now trying to carry that positivity into the 4th. She misses low for ball 1 on Jensen Crenshaw. Crenshaw's 0 for 1, looking to sacrifice herself back in the 2nd inning. She popped up a bunt and was retired by the pitcher. She's in the driver's seat in this at-bat as she takes ball 2, a 2-0 count. Next pitch. This is low, ball 3. St. Francis so far in this game has had 7 base runners. They've left 5 of them on, though. Could come back to haunt them at some point later in the game. 3-0. Called strike. Of those 5 base runners stranded, 3 of them were in scoring position. So one timely hit could have had a huge impact on this game. Called strike 2, count is full. It was 3-0 on Crenshaw. Now anything is in play on this full count pitch. Trying to reach base in front of Haley Length. She swings and drives it out to left field. Moving over into the gap to make the catch is Frankie DeMack. There's out number 1. Hard hit ball by Crenshaw, but right in DeMack's territory. 1 up, 1 down in the 4th. Here's Haley Length. Length is 1 for 1. She singled back in the 2nd inning, one of 3 hits that frame for the Saints. Length grounds this ball fouled on the 3rd base line, strike 1. Three in a row have been retired for Amanda Ruskowski. That's a game high. She got the last 2 batters in the 3rd. Length hits it high in the air, left field. Another chance for DeMack. This one an easy play as she steps in, makes the grab, 2 down. Back-to-back flyouts to left. And we're back to the top of the order. Lindsay Andrews is the batter. Andrews has not yet put the bat on the ball. In 2 trips to the plate, she has a strikeout and an RBI walk. She takes a first pitch strike from Ruskowski. Ruskowski is trying for her first 1-2-3 inning of the game. Called strike 2. She's 1 strike away from just that. 2-1 St. Francis. It's been a good one so far this Monday afternoon. Ball high, 1-2. Lindsay Andrews trying to keep it that way. Start up this offense on a roll again. Paige Egan's in the on-deck circle. 1-2. Ball outside. Count is 2-2. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. No one's on base yet for the Fighting Saints. Fly ball, left center field. This one is deep, back towards the fence. That ball is over the wall, a home run. Lindsay Andrews takes 1 out, and the Saints are back up by 2. 3rd straight fly ball to left field. This one hit a little bit harder than the previous 2. Andrews is able to take it out for her 2nd home run of the year. RBI number 19. And this matches the largest lead that St. Francis has had today. 3-1 now. They've got 3 innings still to play out in the field. I don't know if a 2-run lead is enough, but feels better than a 1-run lead, and they'll try to tack on here with Paige Egan batting. Ruskowski still looking for her first 1-2-3 inning. It's not going to be the 5th today, or the 4th, I should say. Could be the 5th, who knows. Swing and a miss, strike 1 on Egan. Egan is grounded out to the pitcher and to short. She's 0 for 2. She bunts it right in front of home plate. Picked up by the pitcher, no play. Infield single, Paige Egan on the bunt. Well placed between pitcher and catcher. Ruskowski grabbed the ball, but turned to face first base and realized there was no way she was going to get her. It wasn't worth the risk. Here's Rachel Luckett. Luckett lined out to short her last time up. She walked back in the first. She takes strike 1. Three to 1 Fighting Saints. They got an RBI walk from Lindsay Andrews in the second, an RBI double from Ashley Gallison in the third, and a solo homer for Lindsay Andrews here in the 4th inning. Another strike taken by Luckett. The count is 0-2. Ruskowski trying to put away Luckett and end the inning. Chopper to the right side of the infield, gloved by the second baseman Lexi Lux, and the throw to first is in time to retire the side in the 4th. But a run scores on Lindsay Andrews' second home run of the year. We head to the 5th, 3 to 1 St. Francis. Four innings down, 3 to go in game 1 of today's softball doubleheader between St. Francis and St. Xavier. Good work done by Madison Tucker today in her 4 innings, and now she's done. New pitcher for the Fighting Saints is Hannah Vachon, on for the 14th time in relief. It's her 20th appearance overall. Her first pitch is a strike to Annalise Scott. Scott's the number 7 hitter. She grounded out to the shortstop her first time up. St. Xavier designated players, swings and misses, strike 2. Vachon 8-2 with a 3.06 ERA this year. Statistically, she's been the Saints' top pitcher on this season. Swing and a foul tip in and out of the glove of Crenshaw. Scott just does stay alive. Vachon in 61 2/3 innings has allowed 34 runs, 27 of them earned on 60 hits. She's walked 21, struck out 49. Fouled back by Scott, still 0-2. Madison Tucker was brilliant the first time through the batting order. She retired all 9 batters that she faced. Had a rough go of it in the 4th inning initially, but she worked her way out of a big jam, only gave up 1 run. Fouled back again, Scott stays alive. Scott's overall stat line, or Tucker's overall stat line, I should say. She went 4 innings, allowed 1 run on 3 hits. No walks nor strikeouts. Another foul ball hit by Scott. She's hit 4 of them since the second strike was recorded. And the count remains 0-2. She'll see a 7th pitch. Hannah Vachon trying to put her away. She misses for ball 1. Vachon, the freshman from Oxford, Michigan, has started 6 games this year, but primarily has been used as a reliever. There's a high pop-up right side of the infield. Coming in is the first baseman, Kayla Garcia. Garcia makes the grab. 1 up, 1 down in the 5th inning. Tucker is primarily the starter for the Fighting Saints this year. Also a freshman. She started 16 of her team's 25 games, 17 of 25, including today. Here's Brittany Schultz. Schultz takes ball 1. Brittany Schultz is the catcher. She grounded out to short. Ashley Gallison at one point had 4 consecutive assists on ground balls. Ball downstairs. The count is 2-0. 1 out, nobody on base. Starting to get late in this game. Vachon will be very wary of walking hitters. Doesn't want to bring the tying run to the plate that way. There's a high pop-up on the infield. Shallow left side. Gallison takes a step behind the baseline and makes the grab. 2 away. Everybody was hitting the ball on the ground against Madison Tucker. And now Hannah Vachon steps in and everybody's popping them up. Back-to-back infield flies. Scott and Schultz are retired. Here's DeMack. Frankie DeMack is 0 for 1 with a ground out to short. She takes strike 1. 3-1, St. Francis leads. They've scored single runs in the 2nd, 3rd, and 4th innings. Ball 1 to even it up. In the 5th inning, Garcia, Gallison, and Tucker are due up for the Fighting Saints as they look to make it 4 straight innings with at least a run. There's a called strike over the inside corner. DeMack backed out of the way of it, but it was in the zone according to the home plate ump. 1-2 the count. Vachon 1 strike away from putting an end to the top of the 5th. Doesn't get it on this pitch as it bounces in for ball 2. 2-2 the count. St. Xavier got their only run in the 4th inning after the first 9 batters were retired. 3 in a row reached base on hits. 1 of them scored. There's a ball inside. 3-2. 3 straight misses from Hannah Vachon after she was ahead of DeMack. 0-2. Big pitch coming here to avoid the walk. There's a pop-up foul ground right side. It's playable for Kayla Garcia. She makes the grab. 3 consecutive infield pop-ups and a 1-2-3 inning worked by Hannah Vachon. 4 out of 5 innings in this game have been perfect from St. Francis pitchers. We head to the bottom of the 5th, 3-1, Saints lead. Kayla Garcia is going to try to provide a little late insurance for St. Francis here as they lead 3-1. Garcia put a charge into a ball her first time up. Flew it out to right center field, dropped it in for a double. She takes ball 1 up and away here. We are underway in the bottom of the 5th inning. Garcia is 1 for 2 against Amanda Ruskowski. She's doubled and scored back in the 3rd, and she grounded out to 3rd base in the 1st inning. She pops this ball out of play. The count is 1-1. Garcia starting to improve the average. Slowly but surely it's creeping back towards 300 since the start of conference play. Ball 2, 2-1. She's hitting over 280 now. And the power numbers never left her. 5 doubles, 7 home runs for the season. 2-1 pitch misses. And the count is 3 balls and 1 strike. Ruskowski trying to retire the leadoff batter. Garcia looking to put a little bit more pressure on her. And it is ball 4 below the knees. A 5-pitch walk to Kayla Garcia, who reaches base for the 2nd time today. This, believe it or not, is the first time all game that the Saints have had their leadoff runner on. I say believe it or not because they've scored in 3 out of 4 innings. You would think that they were getting some early base runners, but that hasn't been the case. They've been starting rallies with 1 or 2 outs already in the books. Here's Ashley Gallison ripping the first pitch out to left field for a hit. Garcia moves up to second base. 2 on, nobody out. Gallison is 2 for 3. She's followed a very similar path to Garcia today. Grounded out to third in her first at bat. Doubled in her second. And now reaches first base in her third. This one a little bit different. Garcia walked, Gallison singled. Regardless, 2 on base, nobody out. Madison Tucker, the hitter. Tucker pitched 4 innings, allowed 1 run. Done as pitcher, but she remains in as the designated player. She fouls the first pitch off for strike 1. Tucker scored the game's first run when she singled back in the 2nd inning, and then came home on a bases-loaded walk to Lindsay Andrews. This time a simple hit may score another run. Ground ball to the shortstop and out of the reach of a diving Tori Kielman. Garcia around third base. She scores. Heading to third and sliding in safely is Gallison. A single for Madison Tucker, an RBI. It's 4-1 St. Francis, and they may not be done here. Runners at the corners. Nobody out, and it looks like we're going to get a pitching change here. As Amanda Ruskowski walks off the mound, hands the ball to Annalise Scott, and it looks like it'll be Scott facing Danielle Callahan. And I'll take a quick break here. I'll be back to tell you about Scott and get you the rest of the inning in just a moment. 4-1 St. Francis. St. Francis has now scored a run in 4 consecutive innings. They lead 4-1. They may not be done in the 5th. They're at the corners with nobody out. Callahan batting, Scott pitching. Annalise Scott on for the 9th time, her 3rd relief appearance. She's 4-1 with a 3.74 ERA. In 33 2/3 innings, she's allowed 28 runs, 18 of them earned on 43 hits. She's got 22 strikeouts, 11 walks. And she's got an 0-1 count on Danielle Callahan, who looked like she was bunting on the first pitch. Callahan is 1 for 2 with a single and a strikeout today. She takes a ball up and away, 1-1. Runners on base belong to the starting pitcher, Amanda Ruskowski. Ruskowski looked good to start things off. She retired 4 of the first 5 batters of the game. Callahan fouls it back, 1-2. But from that point on, she just wasn't able to get outs consistently. In each of the last 4 innings, the Saints have had at least 2 hits and scored at least 1 run. 1-2 pitch. Callahan drives that ball out to deep center field, going back towards the wall. It's a 3-run homer. Danielle Callahan has broken this game open. A big 3-run shot, a 4-run inning now for St. Francis, and our score is 7-1. For Callahan, home run number 2, RBIs 7, 8, and 9. Her second hit of the ball game. And there is still nobody out in the 5th inning. 4 runs are in. Callahan's run, of course, charged to Annalise Scott, who's taken deep for the 2nd time this year. The other 2 runners who scored on that play are charged to the starter, Ruskowski, and there's another base hit. Jensen Crenshaw dumps it into left field. It's a single for Crenshaw, 4 consecutive hits for the Saints. The Saints can keep this up. They can put a quick ending to this game. After, for the majority of the game, they've been just trying to grind it out. I'm sure the games played here just 1 week ago are in their minds as well. They lost late leads in back-to-back games against Judson last Monday, so they didn't want to go into the 6th and 7th innings leading by just 2 or 3. Ball 1 low on Haley Length. Length is 1 for 2 with a single and a flyout. The first 5 batters of this inning have all reached base for St. Francis. They lead 7-1. Haley Length drops down a bunt. It touches her foot in the batter's box for a foul ball. Strike 1, the count is even. Garcia walked. Gallison and Tucker hit back-to-back singles. Callahan homered. And then Crenshaw singled, and that gets us up to speed. Pickoff throw down to first base, and it rolls out to right field. Crenshaw heads to second. So a ball on Haley Length. The count is 2-1. The catcher, Brittany Schultz, fired down to first looking for the pickoff. And instead, I think she hit the back of Crenshaw, and it ricocheted away and out to right field, and that allowed Crenshaw to take second. It's another runner in scoring position here. 2-1 on Length, who pokes that ball into right field. That's down for another base hit, and it gets by Tori Williams all the way to the fence. Another run comes in as Crenshaw scores, heading all the way to third base is Haley Length with an RBI triple. And St. Francis is starting to run away. 8-1 the score, still nobody out. And Lindsay Andrews is coming up as the Saints look to put an exclamation point on this one. Andrews may not be facing Annalise Scott here. Looks like a new pitcher will be entering the ball game. It'll be the 3rd pitcher of the inning. 3 straight reached against Ruskowski to begin the frame. 3 straight have reached against Scott. And so now bring on option C. I'll tell you about her in just a few moments. I'll step aside. 8-1 St. Francis. Madeline Matola, the freshman from Mother Macaulay High School, is the 3rd pitcher of the inning. She's making just her 2nd appearance of her collegiate career. No record, a .350 ERA in 2 innings. She's allowed 1 run on 2 hits, 3 walks, 1 strikeout. Saints a hit away from putting this game on ice. Lindsay Andrews is the batter. She's had a big game, 1 for 2 with a solo homer and a bases loaded walk. 2 RBIs in the game for Andrews. Runner at third base is Haley Length. Andrews bunts it foul and out of play. Strike one. Length was racing in from third base right there. Looking for the old squeeze play, but it's a foul ball. Strike one. This was a tight game. It was 3-1 at the end of 4 innings. Here in the 5th, St. Francis has pulled away. Madison Tucker has an RBI single. Danny Callahan a 3-run homer. Ball low on Lindsay Andrews, 1-on-1. Haley Length picked up an RBI triple moments ago. 1-1 is popped up foul behind home plate. It stayed in play, but Brittany Schultz could not immediately locate it. It would have been a tough play for the catcher to make regardless, but it falls harmlessly for strike two. One and two on Andrews, the leadoff batter. Length stands at third base. Game one of a doubleheader. Andrews takes ball high. It's 2-2. Game two will commence about a half hour after this one finishes up. St. Francis trying to deal St. Xavier just their 4th loss of the season. Swing and a miss, strike three. Second strikeout of the season for the freshman Matola. First out of the inning after 6 consecutive batters had reached. Here's Paige Egan. Egan is 1 for 3. Picked up a bunt single in the 4th inning. Corner infielders watching out for the same thing here. She does look to bunt, but take ball one. She takes ball one low. It's 1-0. Egan, left-handed hitting left fielder. Swings the next pitch and fouls it away. 1-1. Amanda Ruskowski was today's starting pitcher. She threw 4+ innings and allowed 6 runs. 3 of them here in the 5th. Egan takes the ball. The count is 2-1. Saints had 9 hits against Ruskowski. She only walked 1, or 2 I should say. She walked 2. There's ball 3 on Egan, 3-1. 2-2 rather. 2-2 the count on Egan. Runner at third base, 1 out. And she takes a ball high. Now it's a full count. Just 2 walks issued today by Ruskowski. They were big ones, though. One of them led off this inning, and the other was with the bases loaded to score a run. She struck out 2. Egan strikes out swinging. Back-to-back Ks. Good work for the freshman coming in and getting 2 quick outs. Here's Rachel Luckett. Luckett is 0 for 2 with a line out and a ground out. She walked back in the 1st inning. That's 3 walks, I suppose, for Ruskowski. 6 straight reached base to begin the inning. Now 2 straight have been retired. Luckett takes ball 1 high. Ninth batter of the inning, so everybody has come to the plate for the Saints. Luckett drives one out to center field, backing up and making the catch is Lyda Robinson. The inning is over. Saints jump out to a 7-run lead with 5 in the 5th inning, but they're not able to put it away with that final run to get Length in from third base. They strand her. So we'll head to the 6th. It's 8-1 St. Francis. Top of the 6th inning, St. Xavier at the bat, trailing by 7. Lexi Lux leads it off for the Cougars and takes strike 1 from Hannah Vachon on for her 2nd inning of work. Vachon went 1-2-3 in the 5th after coming in out of the bullpen for Madison Tucker. There's a hard grounder right side and through the hole for a base hit. Lexi Lux is aboard for the 2nd time today. She's 2 for 3. She has scored St. Xavier's only run today. And now she'll try to score her 2nd with Robinson coming up. St. Xavier had their backs against the wall in the bottom of the 5th inning. Runner at 3rd. Nobody out after Haley Lenth's RBI triple. Ball downstairs, 1-0 on Robinson. Run for the Fighting Saints in the bottom of the 5th would have put the game away, but St. Xavier was able to call in their freshman reliever, Madeline Matola, and she did the job. Back-to-back strikeouts and then a flyout to end the inning. Lida Robinson trying to get a rally going for St. Xavier. She's 1 for 2. Bunt single her last time up. She's got a 2-0 count on her here. Next pitch from Vachon. It's lifted out to left field, down the line, and foul. It's 2-1. That was an interesting swing from Robinson. I know she's a slapper to begin with, but looked like she actually left her feet to make contact with that ball. Kind of skipped up into the air and pushed it to the left side. Dropped into foul territory for a 2-1 count. Shows bunt this time and takes a strike. It's 2-2. Lux is the runner at first. St. Xavier trying to come back and make a game of this. They've trailed throughout. Popped up, left side foul and out of play. Fighting Saints got their first run in the bottom of the 2nd inning. Meanwhile, Madison Tucker for St. Francis retired the first 9 batters she faced. Ground ball right side off the glove of Kayla Garcia, picked up by Lindsay Andrews, but she doesn't have a play. Back-to-back ground balls to the right side of the infield. Lux's was able to squirt through for a hit. Robinson's is knocked down by Garcia, but no play for anybody as Garcia was not able to make the lunging stop. I guess she did stop it, but she wasn't able to grab it cleanly. So an infield hit for Robinson. Lux up to 2nd base. And the batter is Ruskowski. The starting pitcher, Amanda Ruskowski, takes strike 1. She's done as pitcher in the game. She was removed last inning, but remains in to hit. And she fouls it away. Count is 0-2. Ruskowski is 1 for 2 with an RBI single. She's also popped out once to 2nd base. 2 on, nobody out. Ball upstairs, 1-2. Of the first 5 innings, St. Xavier was set down in order 4 times. The 4th inning was the only one in which the Cougars had any base runners prior to the 6th. Ruskowski swings and misses, and there's the first out of the inning. First strikeout of the game for Vachon. In fact, the first strikeout of the game for St. Francis. Madison Tucker didn't fan anybody in her 4 innings. So that's the 16th out of the game for these two pitchers combined, the first one on strikes. But they have not given up very much hard contact. Taylor Sturkowitz takes ball 1. Sturkowitz is 0 for 2. She's flown out and reached on a fielder's choice. She takes a ball upstairs, 2-0. Lux is at 2nd. Robinson is at 1st. Back-to-back ground ball singles began this inning. 1 out now. The 2-0 pitch is lifted to the right side. Foul territory. That's out of play. Count is 2-1. St. Francis is trying to move back above 500 in conference play. They entered play today right in the middle of the pack with a 5-5 CCAC record. Swing and a miss. Sturkowitz way out in front of that one. Count is even now, 2-2. Tori Kielman is in the on-deck circle. Vachon looking now for back-to-back strikeouts. The 2-2 pitch. Hit in the air out to right field, not deep. And it drops in between second base and right field. Everybody moves up. I don't know if Rachel Luckett ever saw that ball. It falls in front of her for a base hit. Single for Sturkowitz. Robinson to second. Lux to third. Bases loaded, 1 out. I think that Andrews saw the ball but just couldn't get back on it fast enough. Luckett, I don't believe, located it cleanly. So she wasn't able to get in on it. Now Tori Kielman with the bases loaded. Swings through strike 1. Kielman has grounded out twice. She's 0 for 2. Big spot now as St. Xavier tries to get back into the game. Check swing on a ball upstairs. On appeal, she went around. Strike 2. Vachon could use a strikeout here without question. The count is no balls and 2 strikes. Here's the next pitch. Fouled away. Kielman stays alive. Force at every base. With Madison Tucker in the game, St. Xavier was hitting nothing but ground balls. They've been hit him in the air against Vachon. Double play not as big a concern. So that one is hit in the air, but foul. Out of play again. Still nothing in 2. Top of the 6th inning. St. Francis leads big, but St. Xavier can score big runs in a hurry. Strike 3 called over the inside corner. Kielman goes down looking, 2 away. What a huge strikeout there for Hannah Vachon. And that brings up Tori Williams. Williams is 0 for 2. 2 groundouts in the ballgame. Bases still loaded. Vachon not nearly out of danger, but she's taken one big step closer to it as Williams takes ball 1. Williams is grounded to short and to the pitcher. There's a called strike. Count is 1-1. 3 singles and 2 strikeouts. That's been the story of the inning. Bases loaded, no runs in yet. Ball below the knees, 2-1. Lux hit a sharp grounder between first and second. Robinson hit one off the glove of Kayla Garcia. Garcia inches away from making the play, but turned into an infield hit. And then Sturkowitz popped one between second base and right field. Ball 3 on Williams. St. Francis's pitching staff did not have a strikeout today until Vachon came up with a huge one earlier this inning. And there's ball 4. They didn't have a walk until a huge one right now. Everybody moves up. Lux scores. Robinson to third. Sturkowitz to second base, and Williams plants herself at first. An RBI, base on balls. It's the second time we've seen one of those today. One for each side now, an RBI walk. Madeline Measle comes into the game to run for Sturkowitz at second base. And the batter is the pitcher, Madeline Matola. St. Xavier pulled their pitcher, Annalise Scott, who started the game as the designated player. As a result, Matola's got a bat for herself. She's not been used as a hitter. She takes a first pitch strike from Vachon. So this is not a situation here that Aaron Mollahan wants to use her in, but doesn't have much of a choice. There's a ground ball to second base. Andrews has it, throws to first, and the inning is over. 1 run scores for St. Xavier on 3 hits and a walk. They leave them loaded. And we head to the bottom of the 6th. 6-run lead for St. Francis. It's 8-2. 8-2 St. Francis as we begin the bottom of the 6th inning. Kayla Garcia leads off the second consecutive frame. She walked to begin the 6th inning, or the 5th inning rather, and she takes ball 1 to lead off the 6th. Garcia's 1 for 2. With a double to go along with that walk, she has scored 2 runs. Facing Maddie Matola for the first time. Matola came on last inning and did yeoman's work. Strike called, it's 1-1. With the winning run standing at third base and nobody out, she came up with back-to-back strikeouts before getting a fly out to center field. Just her second collegiate appearance in the circle. Garcia drives that one deep to left field, but pulled it well foul. Count is 1-2. St. Francis scored 1 in the second, 1 in the third, 1 in the fourth. 5 runs in the 5th inning as Garcia rolls it over to short. Backhanded stop by Kielman. Her throw to first base is in time. 1 up, 1 down in the 6th inning, and the batter is Ashley Gallison. Gallison is 2 for 3, a single, a double, an RBI, and a run scored. She swings at the first pitch, pops it up, foul territory, third base side, playable for O'Donnell, who makes the grab. 2 away. Two quick outs, and Matola has set down all 5 batters she's faced. Here's Madison Tucker. Tucker is 2 for 3. She's got a pair of singles, a pair of runs scored, an RBI, and did a pretty good job as a pitcher today, too. Allowed only 1 run in 4 innings. She takes a ball high. It's been a pretty good day at the office for Madison Tucker. 1-0. Popped up, foul to the left side, and off the light pole, out of play. Count is 1-1. Today is the first of back-to-back home doubleheaders for the Fighting Saints. They'll play tomorrow evening against Indiana South Bend. There's a fly ball into right field. Coming in and making the catch is Tori Williams. A 1-2-3 inning worked by Matola. She's been brilliant. 6 up, 6 down against her after coming into a key moment in the 5th inning. And now she'll hope that the offense can provide some life in the 7th. Last chance coming up for St. Xavier. They trail the Fighting Saints by 6. (8-2) St. Francis in the 7th inning. Saints 3 outs away from the victory. Schultz, DeMack, and Lux are the only ones standing in the way. Hannah Vachon doing the pitching for St. Francis, and she misses with ball 1 up high on Brittany Schultz. St. Xavier's catcher is 0 for 2. She has grounded out to the shortstop, and she has popped out also to the shortstop. She drives this one deep center field. That ball is way out. A solo home run for Brittany Schultz. She crushed it. And St. Xavier's within 5. Nobody out in the top of the 7th. It's an 8-3 score. Brittany Schultz goes deep for the 2nd time this year. Picks up her 14th RBI, and there wasn't much doubt about that one off the bat. Solo home run leads off the inning. Here's Frankie DeMack. DeMack is 0 for 2. She's grounded out to short and popped out to first. She swings the first pitch. It's a screamer right at the shortstop. Gallison drops to her knees to make the catch. Nice play by the shortstop. One away. Two batters up here in the 7th inning. Both of them have hit the ball extremely hard. One of them over the fence, the other one into and out. Gallison had it played perfectly. So we're back to the top of the order. Lexi Lux is 2 for 3, a couple of singles. And prior to the home run a moment ago, she was the only one for St. Xavier to score today. She has 2 runs. Ball downstairs on Lux, 1-0. Lexi Lux is a junior infielder. Attended Tinley Park High School, graduated in 2016. She hits a foul ball, straight back for a strike, 1-1. Lyda Robinson is on deck. If anybody else reaches, we'll see Amanda Ruskowski one more time. 8-3 St. Francis. They've led by as many as 7 runs. Popped foul and out of play. Count is 1-2. Vachon has 2 strikeouts in her 2 1/3 innings, looking to put away Lux right here. Poked into left center field and down for a base hit. Second hit of the inning for the Cougars. And they move on with 1 out, a runner on first. The batter is Lyda Robinson. St. Xavier had only 3 hits through the first 5 innings combined. They've got 5 hits in the last inning and a third. And they're threatening to make a game of this here in the 7th inning. Still a 5-run difference, so there's no reason for St. Francis to fret just yet. Lyda Robinson takes strike 1. Robinson is 2 for 3 with a pair of singles. She fouls this one behind home plate, strike 2. Vachon is ahead of another batter. She got ahead of Lux, couldn't put her away. Now she'll try to make up for that against Robinson. She does miss high on this pitch. The count is 1-2. 1 on, 1 out in the 7th inning. 5-run game. The 1-2 pitch. Swung on and missed. Strike 3. 2 down. Cougars are down to their final out, and their last hope is Amanda Ruskowski. Ruskowski, a .519 hitter on the season. Just 1 for 3 in this game with an RBI single. Fly ball down the right field line. Towards the line, Luckett slides for it, can't pull it in. It kicks off her knee and rolls into foul territory. A base hit with a run coming in to score. Ruskowski into second base with a double. An RBI double for Amanda Ruskowski. It's an 8-4 game now. 2 hits, 2 RBIs in the ball game now for Ruskowski. She's got 30 runs batted in this year. St. Xavier still alive. They'll still need a miracle down by 4 runs with 2 outs in the 7th. But they've scored twice on 3 hits so far this inning. And Taylor Sturkowitz is the batter. Sturkowitz takes a ball in the dirt. It skips away from Crenshaw. And Ruskowski moves up to third. Well, the good news for the Saints is they really don't have to pay much attention to that runner. It's a 4-run game, so the ball game is at home plate right now. 1-0, grounded up the middle, kicks over to the shortstop, and Gallison not able to make the play. It's a base hit for Sturkowitz and an RBI as Ruskowski scores. It's 8-5. Infield hit for Taylor Sturkowitz. Nothing quite going right for St. Francis. That looked like it could be a game ender, but Vachon was unable to make the play. Kicked over to Gallison, and Gallison was not able to field it cleanly either. I don't know if she would have had a play at first if she had. Here's a pinch hitter. Brianna Graffio, senior outfielder out of Shepherd High School. Bats for the first time. She's 3 for 10 at the plate this year. This is her first pinch hitting appearance. She comes up for Tori Kielman and takes ball 1 low. 3-run lead for St. Francis. The Cougars have scored 4 unanswered runs over the last 2 innings. Graffio takes the ball up high, pickoff down to first. Sturkowitz gets back to the bag. 2-0 on Graffio. She takes a strike. Count is 2-1. 3 runs on 4 hits so far this inning for St. Xavier. Fouled away, 2-2. They're down to their final strike. Their offense in this game has come in bunches. They scored a run on 3 hits in the 4th, a run on 3 hits in the 6th, 3 runs on 4 hits in the 7th. They haven't had a base runner in the other 4 innings. 2-2. Liner off the glove of the pitcher, Vachon, kicks over to Gallison. The throw to first is in time, and there's your ball game. 1-6-3. The out is recorded, and the Saints are able to withstand the late rally from St. Xavier. They come away with an 8-5 victory, and they are able to capture game 1 of today's doubleheader. Didn't end exactly the way that St. Francis wanted it to, but overall it's hard to complain about the way this game went for the Fighting Saints, as they jumped out to a big lead and they were able to coast to the victory. They scored a run in the 2nd inning to get the scoring started. 3 singles and then an RBI walk for Lindsay Andrews made it 1-0. They doubled that lead with back-to-back doubles from Garcia and Gallison in the 3rd to make it 2-0. St. Xavier then cut into that with a run in the 4th. They had 3 consecutive singles to begin the inning after they did not have a base runner in the first 3 frames. Lux, Robinson, and Ruskowski hit 3 straight singles to score a run, and then they had them at the corners with nobody out. It looked like they were about to tie it up. Taylor Sturkowitz hit a ground ball to 3rd base, and in a risky play, Danny Callahan threw the ball to the plate and got the out there for the fielder's choice. They ended up not scoring any more in the inning. It was 2-1. St. Francis added their 3rd run on a solo homer from Lindsay Andrews in the 4th. And then in the 5th inning, they broke the game wide open with 5 runs scored, an RBI single for Madison Tucker, an RBI triple for Haley Length, and a 3-run homer for Danielle Callahan produced the offense in the inning. They had a runner at 3rd base with nobody out. It looked like they were about to end the game with their 9th run. But Madeline Matola came out of the bullpen for St. Xavier and was brilliant. She retired all 6 batters she faced, including 2 on strikes, and kept the deficit to 7 runs. That allowed St. Xavier to make a run. They got 3 singles and an RBI walk in the 6th to make it 8-2, and then 3 runs in the 7th, a homer for Schultz, an RBI double for Ruskowski, an RBI single for Sturkowitz. Made the game very interesting. In the end, though, too little too late for St. Xavier, as St. Francis comes away with the 8-5 victory. They improved to 16-9 on the season with the win, 6-5 in conference. St. Xavier falls to 21-4 on the season. The Cougars drop to 10-3 in conference play so far this year. We're not done yet. Another game coming up about a half hour from now. It should be starting between 5:10 and 5:15 or so, and St. Francis is hoping for more of the same success in game 2 as they look for a double-header sweep, and we'll have that broadcast for you. Wherever you're watching right now, come on back and watch in the same place for game 2, or on YouTube and the St. Francis Facebook page as well. But that's going to do it for the game 1 broadcast. I'll be back in a half hour with game 2 as St. Francis goes for the sweep. Thanks for tuning in. Talk to you soon.